What's going on, everyone? My name is Philly, and this is Hoops Off the 710. This is episode 2 of the podcast. Today we will be talking about NBA expansion, my Lakers, Cam Thomas getting waived, and more, of course. So, you guys stay tuned, please. Firstly, I just want to say thank you to you guys. We did the episode 1. That was a huge success. It's almost at 100 views. Let's get that to 100 views. But I really am grateful and thankful for you guys who are tuning in, people coming up to me, and 100 views is a lot to me at the end of the day. But a lot of people that I know personally are coming up to me and saying that I'm doing a good job and stuff like that. So I really do appreciate everything. It makes me want to keep going and just keep putting out more content. So this is what you guys are getting. Stay tuned for the end of this week. I'm aiming for you guys will get another video. So stay tuned for that. For those who know, you know. So you guys are getting another video for sure. It's not going to be a full episode, but you guys will get another talk. I will give you guys try to tap into my real ball knowledge, if you guys know what I'm saying. So for the people that know exactly what I'm talking about, I got this idea from one of my homies. So I hope you guys are ready for that. You know what I'm saying? But appreciate you guys for 100 views, man. It's an honor. I mean, well, I didn't get 100 views yet, but I'm almost there. So 4 more views, man. Let's just keep going. Let's keep grinding. Keep putting up these numbers. Let's just keep going, man. I'm doing this for the love of the game. I love y'all. And I appreciate y'all for watching, everybody out there. First thing I really want to say, before we get into the real NBA talk, I really just want to say I am not really going to cover too much. I'm not going to really cover the games that happened today. And as of right now, it is 12:30 in the morning. But I'm talking about Tuesday games. I'm not going to really cover those games just because I literally had an intramural football game. I had work and I had school. I didn't have time to watch these games, and I don't want to give you guys false content. I did see Jokic get a game winner, so that's something I will for sure bring that up down the line for the next couple episodes, or the next episode at least. So I will definitely talk about that. I seen he didn't crack 20, but I think he had a triple double. So we'll talk more about that later down the line. But let's get into this first segment. And, you know, this isn't just like the original segments that we've been doing just with the official names and stuff like that, just because it's kind of harder to do. We're only going to touch on probably 2 of the segments that I brought back last year. And, last episode, I'm sorry. And it's the From the Stands one and the NBA standings one. So we're going to get into that a little later. But for now, let's talk about NBA expansion. So basically what has came out is that the league is going to take a vote to see if there will be an NBA expansion, and that would include probably 2 teams, the Las Vegas, whatever the name is going to be, and then the Seattle Supersonics. Seattle will get a team again. And just from what we know, Seattle is a very big basketball community. Like, if you know, you know. It's very tapped in, and a lot of the NBA players, Isaiah Thomas, I think, DeJounte Murray, and some others. There's a lot of NBA players that have come from Seattle, and they have a real culture out there. So they 100% deserve a team for sure. And I think the voting is I think it's 20, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me, but I think it's 23 out of 30 NBA teams have to say yes on that in order for an NBA expansion to actually happen. But if they do, Seattle will for sure get a team. You know, the only question is Vegas, but I do think Vegas deserves it. I've been to Vegas a good amount of times now, probably 6 times, just even if I'm just having fun, or either having fun or just going for basketball tournaments and stuff like that. So I've been there a good amount of times, and I would say 100% that they do deserve they do deserve a team. A lot of Las Vegas residents that I've talked to have complained that they don't have a real NBA team or a real basketball team to where they can really root for and stuff like that. They have a real core community. I will say a lot of those people are Californians who moved to Vegas because it's cheaper and stuff like that. I have a lot of the people I know who live in Vegas are from California. So I don't know what that says, but right now they're all, not all, but good majority of those fans are Lakers fans, I would say, or Sacramento fans, whatever. I don't know why you would be a Sacramento fan, not trying to take shots, but by choice is kind of crazy. If you're not from Sacramento, I don't know why you a Sacramento fan. But shout out to Sacramento Kings though. I ain't even trying to fry y'all like that. But Las Vegas would be a very good destination. As far as the expansion draft, it's very interesting because I want to see who gets protected and who's going to stay on their original teams and stuff like that, because I think the last draft was in 2004 and that's league is different, a lot more talented now. So very curious to see what it looks like at that point in time, if you guys get what I'm saying. So just like you look at teams like OKC, like who are deep as hell, like teams deep as hell, you can go 1 through 15 and you can't keep all those guys in the expansion draft. So I'm very curious to see who they keep. I wonder if Lou Dort is the odd man out and the expansion team want to go grab him or something like that. So yeah, that's one of the that's definitely, it's gonna be very interesting for sure. Maybe wonder if Seattle guys will go get Seattle natives, if that's possible. I want, like, maybe teams will let some of the guys go and play for their hometowns. Like, it would be kind of crazy if the Pelicans said, yo, we're not going to protect you. You can go to Seattle, or you're able to get drafted by Seattle, if that makes sense, right? So I'm just very curious to see how that goes. Seattle, though, definitely, I would say, deserves a team more than Las Vegas. Not to be say anything crazy or anything, but they got their team took away from them. And Seattle has a very, very core, like, fan base and stuff like that. So I'm just I'm very happy that if this does happen, they will for sure get an NBA team. If they don't, that is crazy. I'm sorry. NBA, we got to do better if that happens. But but yeah, shout out both those cities, both great cities, by the way. But yeah, well, let's hop into the next segment where we will be talking about the Lakers and how they just got their 9-game win streak just snatched. So stay tuned for that, please.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Like I said earlier, the Lakers just got their 9-game winning streak snapped by the Detroit Pistons with no Cade, by the way. And Danius Jenkins dropped 30, had a career high, and hit the pretty much the game sealing shot. It was a little baseline kind of fader. I mean, it was cold. He had 30, so I'm not really mad at it. It was a great game. Shout out all the guys, even though we lost, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to talk about this Lakers last 10-game stretch, and I just want to read you guys some stats. Just from Luka himself right here. Luka had 39. He was averaging 39, 8.3 rebounds and 7.3 assists on 2.6 steals on 48 and 39. And I'm rounding up a little bit on the percentages, but that's still crazy. 48 and 39, and he's averaging 39 points a game. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is unbelievable basketball. And Luka has a real case for second in MVP, like a real case. I'm starting to think the Jokic conversations is fizzling out. SGA is kind of coasting with this MVP. Like, he's probably gonna win it, I'd say. But boy, that dude in San Antonio, 275 dude, hey, he getting in them conversations too. I have been hearing the reports on what he's been talking about and all the stuff that's been going on with San Antonio. They don't lose when he's on the court, but listen, that's a whole other conversation. We're talking about Luka. Even though they lost this game to Detroit, it's a very impressive stretch from the Lakers. They're beating good teams. Now, obviously, they're not playing OKC or anybody like that, but played Houston twice. Houston is a good team, no matter what you say. They're not. Now, they're easy to scheme against. Like, it's not like Houston is OKC to where you have Kevin Durant, who's damn near unguardable. But when we're doubling, just like we were talking about in the last episode, when you're doubling, you're doing all this other stuff to kind of just throw him off his game to where he has to give up the ball immediately as soon as he touches half court, whatever the case is. I love that intensity. I just wish, as a Lakers fan, we see that every game. I wish I should be able to see that for most of the season instead of seeing that in a 10-game stretch. But yeah, right now Lakers are the clutchest team in basketball, which is a little scary in my opinion, just because obviously being clutch doesn't hurt, but it's just when you're not put in the moments, what else are you going to do, if that makes any sense? I just want to see the Lakers do something when it really matters. And when we have to play OKC, hopefully we don't get blown out by 30. I watched the game earlier this season. I was on the phone, or not. Matter of fact, I had to call my girlfriend after, and I was like, bro, this is crazy. Didn't make no sense. But, it is what it is. So, as a Lakers fan, I just hope everything works out. You know what I'm saying? I just really hope everything works out. But yeah, as of right now, we're 13th in defense, which is, you're not going to expect a team with a 41-year-old LeBron James and a Luka Doncic and an Austin Reeves and a DeAndre Ayton at your backline. You're not going to get a top 5 defense all of a sudden. Yeah, like, it's just not going to happen. I was just looking at the stats earlier. We're 13th defense, and I can honestly say I'll live with that. Because just like how I was talking about on the last episode with the Denver Nuggets, in these past couple of years, maybe not right now, because Denver Nuggets did have a stretch where they were locking shit up for like a good month or two. But then it just died out. But when I was talking about the Denver Nuggets and I was talking about their past couple of years, especially when they won the championship, they were never known as a great defensive team, never. But they knew when it was time, they had to lock shit down. And a top, of course you will want to be a really good defense, regardless of what team you are. A good defense, you'll be all right at the very. Let me not even say not all right, but we know our half-court offense is really good. We are not fast. We're not going to get you on the fast break. We're not going to do any of that. We're going to beat you in the half-court. We do know that. And just with a 13th defense in the league, this just tells me I just want it to be like one of them Nuggets teams. And like I just said, I just want the Lakers to get stops when it matters, if that makes sense. Not getting blown out in games early by super contenders. I know I've been talking kind of down on the Lakers and saying that they're not contenders, but that's the thing that's separating. If you can get your shit done when it matters, you will obviously be a contender. We don't know what's going to happen just because we saw this last year with we went on a crazy stretch with Luka, and then we played Minnesota and completely shit the bed. We seen that, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't really have too much to say else on that, pretty much. But yeah, that's how I'm feeling about the Lakers right now. I'm still not gonna say they're contenders yet, just because we always see this with them. I can't do it yet, but I'm a Lakers fan. I hope they win every game. I hope so, but obviously it's not realistic. But we have Luka Doncic, who can win us a series or two. Win us a series or two, and if everybody else contributes, everything can work. The chances, we gonna have to play them boys in San Antonio and play them boys OKC, and I gotta see it. I have to see how we react to getting punched in the face. I'm not there yet, but yeah. And hold on, let me see, and let's move on to this next segment about Cam Thomas. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Yeah, I bet on my club. I bet on my club.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Alright guys, I'm back. This is the Cam Thomas segment, and it's a lot going on with this topic. Obviously, we know around the trade deadline, I believe a little bit after that, Cam Thomas got waived from the Brooklyn Nets, and he immediately signed with the Milwaukee Bucks. In my brain, I was like, this is an interesting way. I feel like it was kind of a shot in the dark to keep Giannis around if that makes sense. It was I felt like it personally, but it's just not, it didn't work out. And obviously he's waived, so it didn't work out in the first place. But even then, like, you kind of watch Cam Thomas and it's like he's just not that guy. And I mean that sincerely, because he can score with the best of them. He really can. He really, really, really can. We've seen him games even when he was with Kevin Durant and he was going out and getting 25. We've seen these games after the Kevin Durant era where he can average 25 on a stretch or something like that. We've seen those. We've seen stuff like that. He is a professional scorer, and we know that. But we are realizing now today that being able to score, that's not, you have to do more if you want to stay in the NBA, if that makes sense. Not to put the label on him, but the shock chucker label and stuff like that. I don't want to do that, but that's what it looked like out there. I'm gonna just read some of his stats that he's had as a Buck. He's averaging 10.7 points, 1.9 assists on 43 and 27. Here's my thing. And even if you're trying to be the best scorer and you're not going to do anything else, you have to be peak scorer. If you guys get what I'm saying, you shouldn't even be coming off the bench if you were that good of a scorer. You know what I'm saying? Because he just doesn't do anything else. I'm going to be honest. We've seen him have interviews saying he can play make, he can do this, that, and the third. But, yeah, we haven't seen it. That's what I've been looking for these games with Milwaukee, and it's you'll see flashes, but at the end of the day, it leads to nothing. So I'm very interested to see where this goes with Cam Thomas. I do have a question for you guys. What do you guys think it's over for him? Like, he's gonna have to go overseas or something like that? Y'all think he's gonna be out the league, or he gets another chance? But for me, I think he's done, bro. Not in the sense like he can't come back, but I think he will have to go overseas to show us something. Show us you can do other stuff now. Obviously, going overseas, not nearly as good competition. So, and if you're an NBA player, you can kind of go over there and show shit that you weren't doing in the NBA just because the competition is a lot higher in the NBA. I don't know, man. He's going to show us he's a prolific scorer. He showed us at the NBA level, but that can't even keep him on a team. So I don't even know what to really think. I wouldn't be surprised if he has to go overseas or anything like that. Shout out Cam Thomas, really good scorer, but he has to choose another role. Like, you can't just be your 6'3" guard trying to be a scorer. That is a dying archetype in the NBA right now. If you're not going to do anything else, we have a lot of examples of other guys who went from scoring to the hard work guy, the guy who does all the dirty work and stuff like that. So if Cam Thomas wants to be an NBA player, you have to make winning plays, man. You're at the point where you were just in a situation to where Brooklyn wasn't winning anything, just wasn't even trying to win anything. So if you can't be on a team that's tanking or doing anything like that, you're just not gonna be in the NBA too long. So I'm not saying he can't play winning basketball. I have to see it though, and I need him, because obviously he's in the NBA. I want him to stay in the NBA. I want him to succeed and everything like that. I wouldn't wish no ill will on Cam Thomas at all, but I in order for us to see success, he has to change the archetype a little bit. He has to really want to sit down in that chair, play some defense. He has to do all the other things, you know what I'm saying? So that's my take on it. I do think he will probably have to go overseas, because you were just on the Brooklyn Nets doing all that, and you were on the Milwaukee Bucks. That was kind of their last pitch to Giannis. Yo, we have somebody who can score off the bench, and you came out here and didn't do that. So I'm gonna need to see more. and I hope he gets another job, but I do think he's going overseas. Next, we're going to go over my all defensive team segment, so I'll catch you guys in a little bit.
Yeah, I bet on my club. Yeah, I bet on my club.
Yeah, I bet on myself. Yeah, I bet on myself.
Okay, I'm back, and I'm getting ready to do these all defensive teams. First thing I want to say is this was a very hard list to make. There's only 2 teams, which is very unfortunate, but this is kind of what we have to do. A lot of this is kind of based off of my eye test and what I think is going to happen. And obviously we know about the 65 game rule, so a lot of stuff can change. So bear with me. This is my list. You guys do not have to agree with my list, but this is what I think is probably going sorry. This is what I think is probably going to happen. So I'm going to just start going now. All defensive team. This is my first team, by the way. One, I'm going obviously Wembanyama. Do we have any disagreement here? We see Wemby. Wemby is the most impactful defensive player in the league, maybe in history. I'm ready to say that already, but that's another conversation for another day. But Wemby, man, complete freak of nature. He shuts down half the court when he's on the court. Like literally, like wherever he is, he's literally shutting that down. And you all go play on the other side, and y'all not even gonna want to come in this paint. People try to drag him out the paint, and he's just so long and versatile to where he can get back to his original spot, even with just a quick mistake, just because his arms are so long, his legs are so long. And it's just, it's honestly very, very, very crazy. We've never seen anything like it. Very versatile. You can kind of switch him on to the perimeter. He slides his puppies too. Like, he's not no slouch even on the perimeter. People kind of try to put this stigmatism on him. For the haters that are already coming, they try to put the stigmatism on Wembanyama that he's just a shot blocker or he's just a paint setter. He's doing all this, but those people aren't really watching games or anything like that. So, it's okay, but Wemby, I have him as a lock. He also is my spoiler alert, because next week for the next episode I will be doing my award predictions and stuff like that. But spoiler, Wemby is my defensive player of the year, regardless of what happens. Even if he don't make the 65 game rule, if he makes 63, he should still be able to get the award. I don't really care what anybody says. Like, nobody else deserves it more than him. My next person is Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes, I decided to pick Scotty Barnes because if you really watch Raptors games, he's so versatile. You can guard damn near 1 through 5. Whoever you want to put on him, whoever his assignment is, it's damn near shut down. And not even in the sense of like, yo, on the ball, he's going to lock your shit up, but he's a good rotator. He does everything you want him to do. And as a coach, you would let it. I'm already knowing he's such a coachable player. Whatever you want him to do, he's gonna do. I don't know how else to say it. Like, he'll get block shots. He'll get steals. He's always in the passing lanes. He's sliding his puppies. He's doing all that. Whatever you want. Almost kind of like a more athletic Draymond type deal, if that makes sense. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I mean, Draymond's athletic. Don't get me wrong, but Scotty Barnes is also a freak of nature as well. He's just he's very different, you know what I'm saying? And shout out Scotty Barnes, but I have him as lock too, by the way. I think he's a lock. So yeah, right now so far we got Wemby and Scotty Barnes. My third person is Chet Holmgren, OKC Thunder. I think, hey man, if it wasn't for Wemby, shit, he'd be looked at as what Wemby is damn near, but not all the way, just because Wemby is just such a freak. But Chet, he just gets over. Yeah, it's the Wemby shit. If Wemby wasn't in the league, he wouldn't be getting as overlooked as he does. He's the defensive anchor for OKC. He does all the things you want him to do. He's kind of like them other guys. If you do need him to slide his puppies, he will. But he's a great shot blocker, rim protector, all that. So yeah, Chet, I have him, and then I kind of want to knock these all the way out. So I have Rudy Gobert, the stigmatism. Sorry, the just the stuff on Rudy Gobert. People talk a lot about his game just because it doesn't look good. And obviously when the playoffs come, it's a different story. But we're talking about regular season. He is a generational defender. People do not put light on it. You look at his on and off numbers, they're so insane. You just look at what the numbers are defensively from when he's on the court and stuff like that. It just looks so crazy. The Minnesota Timberwolves wouldn't be nearly, I don't even think their record would be this good if he's not there. Just because he cleans up everything. They don't really have too many guys who come out there and defend. Obviously they have Jaden McDaniels, but they don't really have, there's some guys like Anthony Edwards kind of chooses his matchup, so it's not like he's out there guarding every single night. Look at the workload he has. But yeah, shout out Rudy Gobert, one of the best rim protectors of this generation, might be the best. Shout out to him. He's also another one that I have on my defensive first team. In my last spot, I was fighting with this one a lot. I just I've been thinking about this one, kind of flipping it back and forth throughout my day. I've been making my list and stuff. I've just been thinking. I'm like, but I decided to stand on this one. And I'm going to say Cason Wallace, man. Okay, listen, man. This was hard for me to do. Cason Wallace is a real stopper, though. Like, insane stopper. Like, yo, he's not super big or anything like that, so it is a little different, but shit, he's one of those dudes you ask him to guard whoever, he's putting that shit on locks. Yeah, he's just a bully on that side of the ball. Gets a bunch of steals. I think he leads the league in steals or something like that, but he gets the steals and deflections. He gets everything. He's just just a straight net on defense, man. Like, shout out Cason Wallace. He's a great defender for OKC, and there's a big reason why we look at OKC as they do. And OKC can have, if you really wanted to be picky, they can have a legit 3 to 4 people if they play 30 plus minutes a game, and they can all be on defensive team if we're being completely honest. But Cason Wallace deserves this. Shout out him, man. They're doing great things over there. Second team, all defensive team. Start this one, I'm gonna say Bam. Now, when we talk about the Rudy Gobert's, because Rudy Gobert is a system, and we talk about Wemby system, defensive system. You know what I'm saying? I think Bam should be in that conversation. Bam is a great, exceptional defender, and it doesn't really look like it. You look at his stats and stuff like that. I don't even think, off the top of my head, I don't even think he's averaging a block a game. He might be, I'm not sure, but he is to me the definition of versatile defender, because he will literally go out there and guard the point guard. If he switched on to one, he'll go out there and guard the 5. He'll go out there and guard the 2, the 3, the 4, whatever you need him to do. He will literally do it. He's just an insane defensive mind. He knows where to be all the time. He's a good help side. He's a good on ball defender. He does whatever Eric Spoelstra tells him to do, and he does it very well. So shout out Bam Adebayo. My next person is Derek White, which you probably, if you really wanted to, I wouldn't be mad if you put him defensive first team. Derek White, he's one of the best shot blocking guards in the NBA. Probably the best shot blocking guard in the NBA right now. But he makes game-winning steals, game-winning blocks. He does everything you need him to do. I feel like I keep saying that, but he's just kind of one of those guys who just has a knack for making big plays. He knows what to do at the right time, at the right moment. Slides them puppies. He's going to guard your best player. He's going to do all that. So, shout out Derek White. Asar Thompson. It's my third guy. It's funny because I left the other one off the list, Amen Thompson. But I don't feel great about it. I don't. But Asar Thompson, I do think, is a better defender. Sorry, I just heard something crazy. But Asar's always in the right place at the right time. Whenever he doesn't even have a matchup, he just freelances. He's just like, he's literally everywhere. He's so damn athletic that me making a step to get to my defender is drastically different from him. Obviously, he's in the NBA. I'm not, but I'm just saying anybody. Even you compare him to other NBA players, other than his brother, he's like, he's so twitchy. He's video game esque, man, and he just gets he gets to one spot on the floor and the other spot on the floor and literally like this. It's crazy, man. And his athleticism really helps on the defensive side of the ball. Can guard 1 through 4. I just wish the offense would kind of come around so he can play a little bit more minutes, but he does what the coaches ask him to do. Sliding his feet. He's really like one of those guys who's a real lockdown defender, like my man won't score type of defender. You know what I'm saying? So shout out him, man. Shout out Sarah Thompson. Next person I got is OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby, man. The most real defender on the Knicks right now. The Knicks have a relatively good, not even relatively, they have a top 10 defense, I believe. So it's not like they just it's not like they just don't know what they doing. But sometimes I'm watching the Knicks, I'm like, okay, some people are a little bit lost in terms of cat. But OG Anunoby has been the most consistent defender I've seen. I think it's a crime if he's not on all defensive team. He is very just sound on the defensive side of the ball, man. He's just on the ball. He's not really like a lockdown type of guy, but he's more of just like instinct. Like whenever it's time to get a steal, he can get a steal. Whenever it's time to do certain things, he can do that. My fault, guys. I had a little bit of a technical difficulty, but back to the regular schedule programming. We're talking about OG Anunoby. Him just being a very solid and sound defender is just we really appreciate people like that, and he's just he's a overall great defender and has been the Knicks' bright spot on defense for the whole season. Very consistent. Has a knack for steals. Is low key not a bad shot blocker. People don't really talk about that, but he kind of does things without really looking at the stat sheet, if that makes sense. Like, he's just a very hard-working guy, almost like a bigger, kind of reminds me of a bigger Marcus Smart type guy, if that makes sense. But yeah, for my last official spot for this team, I am going to pick Evan Mobley. This is why I'm going to pick Evan Mobley. We know, look, this is crazy because he just came off a Defensive Player of the Year. I do think, obviously, the beginning of the year is kind of fucks him up just because they weren't playing, like, great at all. I'm going to keep it a bean. They weren't playing great at all. But it feels like they kind of started figuring it out. And when it was figured it out, it was a lot of the defense and getting out and running that was really working. And I think a lot of that has to do with Evan Mobley. Part of the reason why he's not higher to me is because he's missed time. He's a great rim protector, great shot blocker. He moves on defense too. Like I think what trend that you guys are starting to notice. Obviously, some of my favorite defenders are bigs who are very versatile. Like if I had to pick out of the bunch, it would probably be Vic, and then Bam, and then kind of the field. Like it doesn't really matter after that for me, but Bam and Vic are my favorite versatile. Like they can kind of move, even though Bam is probably more versatile if you're saying that. But like Vic is just really good at all those things. But Bam versatility, I feel like is the epitome of versatility on defense. If that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I like bigs who do that. So shout out Evan Mobley, still just really great on defense. I just feel like he hasn't played enough, so nobody's really seeing it enough. Obviously, he's played enough for the 65-game rule, but I just feel like I haven't seen it enough, and then the impact in the beginning of the season wasn't really shown like that because they weren't winning games. And I think it's the stretch where they kind of started winning games and became the fourth seed or something like that, that's when you were seeing it the most. And now they're kind of struggling. It's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Evan Mobley. After this segment, we will be getting into the From the Stand segment. So, hope you guys tune in. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, guys, I'm back, and this is a segment where we answer questions from fans, and we go into a deep dive on what I'm actually thinking, and we're just gonna answer these questions straight away. So, the first question is, how's March Madness been for you? And if I'm not mistaken, last time I checked my March Madness thing, I was doing pretty well. The first round did cook me a little bit. I think the first game that I saw, I literally lost. I'm gonna check that for you guys right now. Just give me a sec, right? I'm looking at my bracket right now. I'm looking at a bunch of green check marks. The only ones I'm trying to see first round that I didn't hit on was BYU. I didn't hit on that. I had them going to. Let me see. How far did I have them going to? I had them going to the Elite Eight, and obviously they lost in the first round, so that didn't happen. But I mean, it is what it is. You're not gonna hit on everything. You get what I'm saying? So, let me look through a little bit more. Who did I have winning? I had Miami, Ohio winning against Tennessee, and they got fucking smacked by 20. So, don't listen to me. Just don't listen to me. I picked Santa Clara to beat Kentucky, and they lost by 5 points. I'm not entirely upset at that. Kentucky was really supposed to win, but they sorry as hell. And if you really paying attention, they already got knocked out. So I had Texas A&M being I had St. Mary's being Texas A&M. I'm sorry. And I'm not no like March Madness expert, so don't like look at that. I do know some stuff, but I'm not really like super tapped into it. I'm trying to get into that space a little bit more. So, if my bracket don't look like yours, don't be too upset at me. I'm just like, for some of these, I was just like, I'm gonna pick random, and some of them I had a little bit of knowledge on. So, hope you guys understand that. Let me look through a little bit more. I had Clemson being Iowa. Iowa won by 6. So, like I said, I'm not mad at that either. It is what it is. But everything else I'm seeing greens. Oh, I also had South Florida. I was tripping. I ain't gonna. I was tripping. But no. And the Ohio State and TCU game. Yo, Ohio State, you tripping. You took my bread. You took everything. Yo, Ohio State, count your days, bro. Y'all shouldn't have lost to them, bro. But surprisingly, I hit on the high point. Shout out Pierre. I was watching Pierre's. He was talking about his March Madness. I was watching it, and I was like, yo, I might have to pick High Point. I ain't gonna lie. And I picked them, and they won. The next question says Luka for MVP. And I said earlier, I think Luka has a strong case for second, not first. Luka is really good, though. Not even, like, no, you see the jersey. Sorry. You see the jersey back there. Luka is really good. Really, really good. But that man in OKC has it locked up. I can't lie. And it's not even necessarily about the play anymore, but the MVP is also about the narrative. You get what I'm saying? Thunder came out guns blazing, Lakers didn't, so it was just kind of like, damn. They came out red hot. You got to give the team with the red hot guy some type of award or some type of appreciation. I think MVP is that. Not saying he doesn't deserve it. He's balling. Like I said, we talked about it the other day. 60% on twos. Haven't seen that since Shaq. I can't even hate on that. You feel what I'm saying? So, shout out Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think it's too late. Even though Luka, I read those stats earlier, 39 points, 7 and 8, something like that. So, it's not like we shitting on Luka or anything like that. Like Luka is really good, but if you would have did this stretch a little earlier and kept it going, I think that's a different conversation. But SGA is just frying right now, man, and I don't think he's gonna stop anytime soon. So shout out SGA, shout out Luka, both really good players. Not to mention Wemby coming in that conversation too. So, not to mention that, but there's only a couple games left, so I don't know. But next question, which is my last question, by the way, says I'm a Warriors fan personally, so I'm curious to hear what's your thoughts on them in their future, especially as a 10 seed. And this is a loaded question, and I mean that in the sense of I haven't really been thinking about the Warriors' future just because it's not even about the future for them, if that makes sense. It's about now. Like, you're supposed to be. Y'all remember when Bron, and this is obviously not the same caliber, but actually, I'm not going to use that. I'm not going to use that because I was thinking about 2018 Bron, but I'm not going to use that. But, yo, Steph Curry is still really good at basketball. Right? We haven't seen him play too much this season because of the knee. Shout out Steph Curry, but it's as the Warriors organization, I think they have a pick coming into the draft, but they're the 10th seed, and if Steph Curry is coming back for the play, and he's gonna play and he's gonna want to win. That doesn't really matter. I just think the Warriors franchise is cooked, man. Like Steph Curry, franchise GOAT, best player to ever put on a Golden State Warriors jersey. Right now should be the time that you guys build to win right now. And a lot of that is just cooked. You all remember in 2022, they had all the young guys. They had all the young guys, and they were supposed to be the after the Steph Curry era or helping Steph Curry get more championships. They don't have any of those guys except Brandon Pajinski. And I hate it for y'all. I really do. The only thing that I can say, because the picks don't matter unless you get number one. You feel what I'm saying? So for you that said that, the picks don't matter unless you guys get number one, which is highly unlikely. I don't even know if y'all have a pick off the top of my mind. I'm not sure, but I feel like you guys do. And only way y'all get a lottery pick is if y'all just sell and become ass. But it's too late. Y'all the 10th seed. Y'all already gonna be in the play-in. But yeah, man, it's scary for the Warriors. All I can say is go for Giannis when, like, just like how you guys were during the trade deadline. I was getting all those reports that Draymond is expendable. If your name is not Steph Curry, you are expendable, and I am not even just talking about the players. Curry, you can get your ass out of here. I'm about tired of that. He's a legendary coach. We know that, but it's time to see. It's time we need to see something else. You feel me? So, I hope that does answer your question though. Just because I could talk about this for a minute. Steph Curry, as good as he is, he's not getting any younger. He's 37 years old. So it's now or never, really. And you guys have no young pieces, so you need to go get guys who are going to win you games right now. And if that means trading Draymond to go get Giannis, just like all them reports saying that they will expend anybody, they were expending. Bro, there was a point, I think it was the last day of the trade deadline. I was like, yo, I thought for sure Giannis was going to the Warriors at this point. I remember I got off work. I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, yo, I'm seeing all these reports. Draymond Green is talking to the press saying, yo, if this is my last game as a Warrior, I'm proud to be that. This is that and the third. I'm like, okay, Draymond is gone. I'm thinking Giannis is getting traded that night, and he didn't get traded. So the only thing I can say is the best luck you guys have right now is going to go get Giannis in the offseason. Go trade that Jimmy Butler contract if you possibly can. Do whatever y'all need to do, whether that's trading trading Draymond, trading everybody. Get them all gone. I don't care if it's just Steph and Giannis. Y'all can figure it out. But Giannis is kind of y'all savior at this point. You know, Jimmy Butler torn ACL. Not saying he's done, but he's 36, so he already wasn't in his prime. He wasn't being aggressive. Certain things he just wasn't. He wasn't doing enough for me to sit here and say don't trade Jimmy Butler. So yeah, I hope that does answer your question. Right now, it's a little dead.
unless you trading everybody and getting picks. But why would you want to get picks when you have Steph Curry? One more last segment. So I'm gonna introduce this segment. Y'all already know what this is, but this is the league check. I'm gonna see y'all in a little bit. I apologize, man. I just be going on tangents, and I was looking at my notes, and I'm like, damn, I forgot that I didn't do this, and this was the second segment that I was talking about that I was supposed to add into this podcast from last podcast or last episode. So bear with me, y'all gotta understand. The more episodes coming, it will be a lot more organized. I just keep fucking up, so just please bear with me. But I want to talk about this Eastern Conference real quick. Specifically the 5 through 10 range, because Toronto, Atlanta, Philly, Orlando, Charlotte, and Miami are all like in the same little bunch, right? And they're all like, you see, they're all within like a 2-game gap away from each other. So that can look a lot different within the next couple games. Like Toronto's obviously a really good basketball team, but they literally like they can fall to 10 anytime soon. Atlanta is only this high because they were literally went on a 15-game win streak. So shout out to them. Didn't think that they would even be this good at any point. Philly has been falling. We talked about them last episode. No Tyrese Maxey, no Joel Embiid, no Paul George. We'll see how that goes. Orlando. Wow, man, like Orlando, maybe this is not, well, obviously the same year, but Orlando, man, it's just Paolo just starting off super slow, man. Obviously, he started picking it back up, but Desmond Bain kind of was slow to start the season. He picked it up. No Franz. They lost their defensive identity. This has just been a complete disaster. And they're still only the 8th seed, which is very interesting. Orlando is just the one thing you guys could hold your hat on was your defense. If the offense wasn't working, and it just seemed like shit. It's been bullshit. If I'm being completely honest, the fact that they can't score and they can't play defense, and sometimes they'll go on a 4-game stretch to where they'll look like the worst team in the league, and then they'll go on a 4-game stretch to where they look like a really good team. And I'm just tired of seeing that, and I'm very surprised because I came into the season and I felt like they were gonna be top 5 seed. The East is open; they can make it work. They had Desmond Bain, who was a great addition for their team, but it just didn't really work out. Charlotte, 9th seed. Right for now. But Charlotte's a really good team too. Very young team. Loves to have fun. They run, shoot threes and shit. Very electric team. But shout out LaMelo, shout out Khan, shout out Brandon Miller. Big 3. Really good team. They're really only missing a center, if we're being completely honest. This team is just hungry. You can tell, man. Like, one of those teams, like, obviously they're not great, but that second half turn up that they had, I could honestly respect it, and they're not going to be an easy out to maybe to Detroit, but maybe to Detroit and the Knicks and Boston, but everybody else is not going to be just an easy anything, if that makes sense. So shout out to Miami. It's the similar thing to Orlando. They kind of just be mid sometimes, man. It's just like either really good or really ass. They don't really know. They don't really know how to choose which one. But Bam Adebayo exists. I just saw the quote. He said he's not trying to make the fucking play-in or something like that. But you guys are the 10th seed, buddy. I can't even lie. Shout out all them over there, though. I hope they figure it out. They've been a kind of intriguing team to see when they're on, but when they're off, it's kind of like this. Like I said, it's like Orlando. It just doesn't really work too often when they're low. It just kind of looks all clunky and weird in terms of the play style and stuff like that. But yeah, and obviously you have the top dogs 1 through 3. We actually got news too, even though this was a couple days ago, but I'll still talk about it. Kate Cunningham, collapsed lung. Holy shit. That is, I've heard people who have collapsed lungs. That is not something to play with. You don't play through that. Shit, go sit your ass and rest and do all the PT, do everything you need to do. Condolences to Cade Cunningham. Hope he gets better and comes out gun swinging in the playoffs. I heard that injury varies. Some people are out for shorter amount of time, and some people are out for a longer amount of time. So, shout out, Cade Cunningham. Hope everything goes well. We just talked about Dennis Jenkins. He had 30, a career high 30 against my Lakers. It's good that the fact that the supporting cast is starting to come around, so it's not like, oh, without Cade, you guys literally can't do anything. That's the last thing that they would ever need, just because they are a 52-win team currently right now, and you still have Boston and the Knicks right on their tail. Speaking to the Knicks, are literally about one loss away from the second. Not one loss away, but you guys know what I'm saying. They have 25 losses. Boston has 24. If Boston drops a game, the Knicks will be the second seed, and that's all it takes. Hopefully the Knicks, you know what I'm saying, just for their comfortability, they can get that second seed and kind of sit back and watch the play-in and see who they play and all that stuff like that. I think they are in favor of all those matchups and whoever they play in the if they play whichever team makes it out the play-in. I'm sorry, but yeah, I mean, if you the Knicks, if you can catch that second seed, you can. That's exactly what you're gonna do. So, I mean, 1 and 2 was kind of locked up. OKC. Then we still have Lakers at 3, Denver at 4, which is kind of interesting. I mean, you look through 3 through. I don't know how many games is left in the season exactly, but 3 through 6 can get a little interesting for sure. I mean, the play-in doesn't really matter too much. We kind of know the teams. LA Clippers, Portland, and Golden State. We kind of know that that's going to happen. But as far as Denver, Minnesota, Houston, that is a very intriguing situation. And Lakers, sorry. But they're all within a couple games from each other. So shout out Denver. I think they're trying to catch my Lakers right now. Might happen, might not. We'll see how it goes. They have a lot of injuries. I just saw Jokic got the game winner, so that's another tally on the win. But yeah. Now this is the actual ending. I appreciate y'all for listening and dealing with my shenanigans and everything that I keep messing up, stuff like that. So shout out to y'all. I'm gonna see y'all later. Look for the next episode. Look for the video I'm dropping in a couple days. I'm so tired. It's late. I will see y'all later. Bye.
Yeah, I bet